What it do, everybody? Teddy B coming back at you with a new review from Rhino Cubes. And today we are talking about the Retro Series by Rhino Billiards. This is the Bocote series with ring work and the lizard embossed microfiber leather wrap with points. But before we talk about that and before we get down to the table, I just wanted to say, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It lets YouTube know that you guys appreciate what I do here, and it would mean the world to me. And so hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. So without further ado, we are going to do a deflection test, a little gameplay with this thing, and then I'm going to tell you everything about this pool cue. And when I say everything, I mean everything. So let's do this. So today we are talking about this beautiful right here. This is going to be the Retro Series by Rhino. This is the Bocote edition. And you can see we got some ring work going on here. Moving on, we got the microfiber lizard embossed leather wrap, which we will get back to. I need to talk to you guys about this. We got some more ring work here and some points on the forearm, looking nice and sharp. Moving on forward, more points on the forearm. We got a radial joint, which we'll talk about here soon, and a time crystal tip, which is standard on all the new Retro Series cues. And of course, joint protectors are always included with every pool cue purchase, or if you're just buying a shaft, joint protectors still included. And they do look sharp, I must say. So let's start by talking about the butt end of the cue right here. This right here I wanted to address just for the simple fact that Rhino Billiards went the extra mile by putting their logo and name on the butt cap itself, which is a very nice touch, and it looks really rather sharp. Very good job, guys. Very nice. But unfortunately, it is not extension ready. But that's okay. I do hear that Rhino cues will have extension ready in the future with the option to buy extensions and have that extra reach if you would like. So the butt itself is made out of composite wood. And so I've been told by Rhino cues that these are not decals. They are actually what is called, they use advanced printing technology. And in my honest opinion, I think it looks really sharp. There are no seam lines or anything of the sort. So that is a really nice job. And here we have the microfiber lizard embossed leather wrap. It is really sharp looking. The feel of it, I mean, like, it is really nice. But here's the good and the bad about this wrap, in my personal opinion. So it is made out of microfiber leather, which is a PU leather, and that doesn't mean that it is not a good leather wrap. It is a really good wrap, which, in my honest opinion, fake leather actually lasts a whole lot longer than real leather does. And the only downside is that it's just really, 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 really flat. So it looks like it's got really, really nice texture. And unfortunately, it's just really flat. It's a good grip, but it could be so much better if it just had that added texture for more gripability, if that makes sense. So let's talk about this radial joint right here. This radial joint has definitely caught my attention. I have used every single radial joint pull cue out there, and I have never seen a radial joint like this before. It's got a flat surface right here, which is very interesting because when you're applying the Rhino carbon fiber shaft to this butt, it's a flawless fit. But if you're using a third party radial shaft, then it feels and it gives that extra tightness because of the way that it is flat. So here I'm going to show you an example. If you look right here, here we have the Rhino, and here we have a regular everyday radial joint. As you can see that it is rounded at the end right here, and this one is flat. Just a little interesting thing that I noticed, and I'm just kind of curious about that. Why did Rhino do that? And what is the purpose of that? Either way you look at it, I mean, like, they both work great and it's a great joint. I mean, like, radial joints are amazing, very, very well designed joints for that buzz-free hit and that extra strong connection. All right, so let's talk about this shaft. So Rhino Billiards is already stepping up to the plate with offering a 30-inch carbon fiber shaft right out of the box. I mean, like, there's no 29-inch option, there's no other option, it's just 30 inches of carbon fiber, which, I mean, like, is pretty damn good. Most companies, if you want that extra inch, they charge you up the ass for it. So why not just give it to you up front just like that? We got a measuring tape right here. I already got it preset to 30 inches. And looks like from the tip to here, we are perfectly exactly at 30 inches. Pretty damn good job, guys. Really nice. So the finish on the carbon fiber shaft is really nice. I will say it is very smooth, but right out of the box, I used it for about an hour, and without a glove, I prefer not to play with a glove because I just like to have that natural feel. And after about an hour, I realized that the surface material was getting kind of rough and it didn't have that really smooth glide. And I had a little, something on my fingertips. So I took some alcohol wipes, I wiped it down a few times and I cleaned it off, and it's been perfect ever since. It's been very smooth and I have no issues. So we got the scale out here. We're going to put this on the scale and see what the shaft is coming in at, just in case you ever want to just, buy a shaft by itself. Knowing the weight of the shaft can make a big difference in the weight of your cue. So this shaft is coming in at 3.8 ounces. Very good, very nice. And right here on the collar, you can see the Rhino with the Rhino logo, 12.5 millimeter in diameter with a phenolic joint collar, radial connection. As far as the diameter goes, this is a 12.5, and this is what you will get when you order a whole entire pull cue from rhinobilliards.com. If you want the option to change the diameter of your pull cue shaft, then customer service is amazing, easy to get in touch with. They respond super fast and are very friendly, and I am sure that they would have no problem changing the size of the shaft to make a customer happy. The shaft sizes range, I mean, like, it's crazy. All the way from 11.8, 12.2, and all the way up to 12.9. So that is pretty freaking sweet. So let's talk about this tip. This tip right here is called a time crystal tip. It is a standard tip that comes from Rhino Billiards, and it is the tip that will come with the new Retro Series pull cues. As you can see right here, it has a clear pad, which that clear pad, it definitely does help with, kickback vibration, and it kind of acts like a silencer, and it's very, very nice, kind of similar to the Kamui Clear, if I would. And when I first looked at this tip right out of the box, I was like, is this a layered tip? Because the description does say layered tip. And but if you look at it right here, it kind of looks like a whole tip. So I scuffed it up, I shaped it, and sure enough, I mean, like, this thing has layers and layers. It is a very, very nice tip. I was very impressed for a tip out of the box. I mean, like, typically I change my tip regardless. I like Predator Victory Soft, and I like Town Fusion. Those are my two main tips. But this tip right here, I gotta say, plays really well. When I first started playing with it, I do have to be honest, it kind of felt like a hard tip, but once you scuff it up and shape it to your liking, and you play with it for a little bit, break it in, it's definitely a medium tip. It definitely produces very well cue ball control, and I gotta say, I really enjoy playing with it. So there you have it, boys and girls, the Bocote Retro Series pull cue by Rhino Cues. Very nice, very beautiful, very sharp looking, plays great. And so let's go back up top. I'll give you my final thoughts. We'll talk about it. And at the end of the video, I will show you that there are several different options to choose from, not just the Bocote. So stick around to the very end to that. Let's do this. So my final thoughts on this Retro Series pull cue by Rhino Billiards. I gotta say, I am pleasantly surprised. The workmanship, the design, the structure, the balance, and the shaft itself is extremely surprising to me. I mean, like, the stiffness on this thing is incredible. It's so nice. And the gameplay, especially with a 30-inch carbon fiber shaft, is very surprising to me. And the radial joint, so if you look right here, if we come right here real quick, it's got a little wobble right here when you start screwing it in, but as you get down about right here, that wobble stops and it is nice and firm. So that's got to be an improvement on this series, which I do like very much. Nice, tight connection. I mean, like, what else can I say? It's a great company. For $319, this is an amazing pull cue. But this is not the only design that they have. They have several different designs. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and like I said in the beginning, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and check out the video of all the other models that they have available, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.